everyone, Daisy here with another video. This one is my first one for Paper Starr Studios creative team. And Paper Starr is run by Melanie, who creates beautiful collections, and they're all digital and you can print them out in any size that you want. And I am working with this collection, which is called Fresh Start. It's the new one for 2022, and I absolutely adore this. The colors are so springy and delightful. I just love it so much. So what I did is I printed out the clip art. Excuse me. So basically the little, die cut pieces that you would have in a collection, I printed them out, and I just use a printer that I got at Walmart. It's a like $60 printer or whatever, but it does a very good job of printing. I do use a thicker cardstock to print them on. And then I did fussy cut all of these out. You can use like a cutting machine and do that, but I was looking for something to creative to do while I was stuck in bed one day. And so I fussy cut all these things out, and I made a few little clusters, and I just showed you there real quick that how I put together the clusters with a little bit of thread, and I just layered pieces on each other. So here I pulled out my sewing machine, and I am just going to sew kind of a grid into my paper, and I'm just using white thread and just going back and forth really messily. And okay, so sorry about that little interruption. My husband came in. But anyhow, so I'm just going back and forth. I'm using a straight stitch and a zigzag stitch. I always increase my stitch length to 4.5 or 5, just to make sure that you can really see the stitches. Anything smaller than that, I feel like it gets lost. And I also like to use heavy duty needles, just because I find that they last a little bit longer, but really any would work. So here you see me working. I pulled out 4 of the pattern papers in some of the various colors from the collection, and I went with like a grid or lined kind of whatchamacallit motif, I guess. Those are the papers that I chose. And then I'm layering these clusters that I created on top of them. So I, as you can see, in each one it has its own unique kind of grouping of die cuts and other things. And so I just really enjoy making these. They're super simple. They're really easy embellishments. So if one day you want to be creative, but you really just can't get to your scrap area or whatever, you can definitely create these like on the couch or in bed or whatever. So I do have that little phrase sticker there that says every day brings a new adventure. And this is a picture of my older daughter, and she still makes this face when we would take pictures of her. And when she was that age, her hair was insane. No matter what we did with it, it just was insane. So I just love those chubby little cheeks, and so wanted to do this photo. I added, like you can see, some labels and tabs to each of the clusters. I'm adding a flower up there. I wanted to add some ribbon or thread to each one too. And by thread, I mean twine, actually, because I already have thread in each of them. And so I'm just playing around with the ribbons, which are obviously from my stash, because, a digital collection, you can't really have real ribbons. So, but the colors went perfectly. And I'm using up a lot of these little bits of ribbon that I've been hanging on to for Lord knows what reason. Like, I don't know why I have insisted on holding on to all of these, but it is what it is. And I'm just playing around, you never can get these things right the first time. And I wanted to add more. I wanted to make sure that there is a ribbon in each one. And so I just keep playing around. So anyway, like I was saying, there is this is called the Fresh Start bundle. and it is available on the Paper Starr Studio Etsy shop. Sorry, had another interruption there, but Paper Starr Studio on Etsy. And it is, Starr does have two R's in it, so be sure that you're adding that in. I will have links down below, however, so that you can find the shop easily. And I will also try to link directly to the collection that I used. Now I pulled out some Spiegel Mom Scrap sequins just to add a little bit of sparkle to it and some more dimension, and I added some soft yellow ones, and I also am looking for some stamps. So because there are a couple of labels on there, I did want to stamp something on them, and so I pulled out this Allie Edwards stamp. It's the Delight Story stamp, and I'm gonna stamp this Just So Delightful, because I don't know, she was just such a handful, and she had so much like energy, and she, yes, was delightful. And then I'm going to use these Heidi Swap alpha letters, which I have not used yet, and I was excited to actually get them used. And they're, stamps again. I've been trying to pull in more of my stamps, and I'm going to stamp out my title, and it's just going to be that face, because that face, that is her like attitude right there. And so I'm just using some black Memento Tuxedo black ink for that, and then I'm going to go over it with, I think I go over it with yellow. I can't remember now. It'll be a surprise. I don't know where I'm pulling out more things. So I always have a little test piece of paper when I'm going to stamp, just to make sure that, my stamps, like the colors look good, and that they don't have some weird extra polymer piece that's going to make some funny, impression that's going to mess up my stamping. I try to do that. I don't always, but I always have scrap paper, so I try to stamp it somewhere. And yeah, I add the yellow, which I thought was a great addition, because I do have little pops of yellow everywhere, and I just feel like that, and I know I have that yellow flower on that card, but I felt like that just kind of helped pull more yellow in. I did sew on my photo as well. I like to do that. I just stitch like a little photo corner in, and I really like that effect. So I don't know, you might be able to see it on the close-ups, but yeah, I really like that effect. And now I'm just adding face in this little tiny font that is from Michaels. And then I realized nothing is glued down, and I really should have cut this out of the video, but I didn't. So again, don't forget to head over to the Etsy shop, check out what Melanie has. I'll also have links down below for Facebook and Instagram. The design team has been making some amazing projects, not just scrapbooking. There's some digital scrapbooking. There is mini albums. There are just so much amazing things. I'm just so honored to be working with these people on this team, and I highly encourage you to check them out as well. So here you're going to kind of see, as I pull apart my layers to stick them back together, how I just kind of snuck little pieces in everywhere, and I just love that layered effect. I love being able to use up this much stuff. I love being able to print my own, because I was able to pick the flowers and the colors that I really wanted to highlight on this layout, and I did multiples of them, and then I did them in different sizes. So that was very helpful for me. I really enjoy that part of using a digital collection, is that I can use as many or as few of them as I want. I can reprint them. So if I want, like 20 yellow flowers, I can print 20 yellow flowers. So I just really like that having that option and that freedom to really find what I want. And so that's going to be the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed this, and I will see you again next time. Bye.